Hello Raya family, welcome back. Today I made a story about an elephant and an ant, plus how they work together. So let's listen to this story I made.
The Mountain and the Seed. Basha the elephant lived in the heart of the golden savanna. He was so magnificent that the trees seemed to bow when he passed, and the earth sang a heavy, rhythmic song under his feet. Basha felt that because he was the largest, he was the only one who truly mattered in the vast, open wild. Down where the grass met the red dust, Pip the ant was hard at work. To her, a single blade of grass was a skyscraper, and a fallen pebble was a mountain to be climbed. She was very small, but her heart was full of grand plans for her colony's new tunnels. One afternoon, Basha took a great, thundering step. He didn't mean any harm, but his massive foot landed right next to Pip's front door. The ground shook like a sudden storm, sending dust and debris flying into Pip's carefully cleared pathways. Pip scrambled out of the dust, shaking her head and tapping her antennae in frustration. She looked up and up, but Basha was so tall, his head was practically lost in the glare of the sun. "Excuse me," she shouted with all her might, but her voice was just a tiny rustle in the grass. Suddenly, the savanna went quiet. Basha let out a loud, pained trumpet that echoed off the distant hills. He had stepped on a sharp, broken acacia thorn, and it was buried deep in the sensitive skin of his heel. He slumped down to the ground, unable to take another step. Basha tried to reach the thorn with his trunk, but his tip was too large and clumsy to catch the tiny, sharp point. He felt very small and very helpless, despite his great size. He let out a low, sad rumble, wondering how he would ever walk again. Pip saw the giant's trouble and didn't hesitate. She began the long, difficult climb up the gray, wrinkled mountain of Basha's leg. She climbed over ridges of skin and through valleys of coarse hair, determined to reach the site of the pain. To Pip, the thorn was like a jagged wooden spear. She braced her tiny legs against the elephant's skin and gripped the base of the thorn. With a mighty heave, she wiggled the shard back and forth until it finally popped out and tumbled down into the grass. Basha felt the sharp pressure vanish instantly. He lowered his massive head to the ground to see what had helped him. There, standing on a single leaf of clover, was Pip. She gave a little wave of her antennae, her task finally finished. "Thank you, little one," Basha whispered, his breath like a warm summer breeze. Pip smiled, realizing that the biggest problems sometimes need the smallest solutions. From that day on, the mountain and the seed traveled together, one making the thunder and the other watching the path.
This is a good story about how small things can also do big things and help bigger things. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.